Welcome, everyone. It's Local One. I'm Roz Elliott, and I'm joined by Pat Morden, the Executive Director of the Sunset Community Foundation. Welcome, Pat.
Thanks. Nice to be here.
Pat, what a week it's been. You rebranded to the Sunset Community Foundation, and now you have a significant new grant to announce and share with everyone in the region.
This is really exciting. It's a federal program, part of the response to COVID, and we've seen a lot, obviously, of funding coming from the federal government. Thank heavens, to mitigate some of the effects of the pandemic. But this one is really an intriguing one. It's $31 million across Canada, so not a massive amount of money, but significant. And about 1.3 million of that will come into southwestern Ontario. And the idea is to generate creative ideas to create safe public spaces. So, we're so tired of being isolated from one another. So the idea here is, what can we do that will help us, through the rest of the pandemic and potentially, in the future as well. And the grants are from 5,000 to 250,000, but I suspect that most of them will be the smaller ones, but the ones that have really, really cool ideas. So someone could start a community garden, or I heard a lovely one the other day, a community living room, an outdoor community living room. You could put, a Wi-Fi hub in your town so that people could, stop and use the internet. It could be as simple as just marking the sidewalk for social distancing, or it could be really wild and woolly, but any kind of creative adaptation to make spaces safe, to increase mobility and to increase digital infrastructure so that people can really get out there and connect with one another in some form.
You know some folks who were on the call with the minister when this was being announced, and you said the enthusiasm and the calls you're getting about potential ideas is just astounding.
Yeah, and actually, the minister herself had there was a note of, I mean, obviously that's what she does, but but there was a note of enthusiasm. She was really interested to see what ideas this would generate. It's sort of a challenge almost, it's almost that kind of grant program where you're not going to get a whole bunch of money, but you're challenged to really come up with the best ideas. And she seemed really jazzed about that. And even on the call, there were people like in the chat box sending in these amazing ideas. And then I hung up and I started hearing from organizations around our area with some fabulous ideas as well. And I just think we're going to see some really interesting stuff come out of this. And it's funny how sometimes I think the concept behind this is that sometimes it's the little things that make the big difference. And I think that's what this really symbolizes.
Haven't we learned that over the last 10 months? Indeed.
Yeah. And we're I think given the some of the information we're getting about the course of the pandemic sort of suggests that even when eventually we get out of the deep freeze, we're going to still be observing social distancing, and we're still going to need to take special steps for safety. So if there's a way that we can do that and still see one another and connect with one another on the street, or in the community living room, or in the garden, that's going to be so important going forward, I think.
What role and how will people access this grant, and what role does the Sunset Community Foundation play?
So it's a supportive role, really. There's a group of community foundations in southwestern Ontario that are ganging up together to implement our part of it, and we have the information on our website at sunsetcommunityfoundation.ca. So you can go in there. It will be the application will be through a national portal, but we're there to support and encourage people to really have a look at this and see what they can dream up.
Well, Pat, this is a very timely sharing, given that today is Chinese New Year. And what a way to begin a new year with new possibilities. We want to thank the Sunset Community Foundation for all you're doing. And you have a legacy of giving, and now in your new rebranded way and a larger footprint, we'll see what creative public spaces come out of this, and safe spaces. Thank you, Pat.
Thank you for spreading the word, Roz. Really appreciate it.
Cheers, everyone. We've been chatting with Pat Morden of the Sunset Community Foundation with great news about safe spaces, creative spaces, and please apply, please look, and please drum up ideas. Everyone, hyper local for you always at the Staysh. you.